Today, we are going to deconstruct the business plan for a crypto project called Onewave. Our goal here is to neutrally break down exactly what they're proposing, from their tech and products all the way to their investment model. We're just going to lay out the plan as it's written so you can see how all the pieces are supposed to fit together. So what's the big hook? Well, the entire Onewave proposal really hinges on this one fascinating, pretty bold idea. What if your crypto investment could be insured with physical gold and diamond jewelry? It's a huge claim, right? So let's unpack how they plan to build an entire ecosystem around that central promise. All right, here's our roadmap for this breakdown. First, we'll get into the big idea behind it all. Then, we'll explore the whole ecosystem of products they want to build. After that, we'll look at the Wave token itself, then the different ways you could invest, and finally, we'll tackle their pretty complex affiliate plan. Okay, Section 1. So, what is the big idea driving Onewave? Well, like any new project, it starts by identifying problems. And according to their plan, they're taking aim at 4 major hurdles that exist in the crypto world right now. So their plan points to these 4 key issues. The headache of moving assets between different blockchains, the fact that so many tokens don't really have any real-world use, how tough it can be for newcomers to even get started, and, of course, the risks that come with centralized platforms. Onewave is basically positioning itself as the answer to all of them. So the big question is, how do they plan to solve all of this? Their solution isn't just a single app or a coin. It's a whole suite of interconnected tools. They call it a multi-utility ecosystem, and it's all built on the Binance Smart Chain. At the heart of it all is the V-Money app. The idea here is that it's a 2-in-1 deal. On one hand, it's a decentralized crypto wallet for holding your assets. On the other hand, it's meant to work like utility payment apps, for things like topping up your phone or paying bills. And this is where things get interesting, where they try to bridge the gap between crypto and traditional finance. The plan talks about crypto-linked MasterCard and Visa debit cards, both physical and digital. And, get this, even a feature that lets you open a digital bank account in the UAE with just your passport. And they are not stopping there, not by a long shot. Beyond that core app, the roadmap is packed. We're talking a play-to-earn gaming platform, a subscription-based arbitrage bot, their very own crypto exchange, a learn-and-earn app called FinLearn, and even an AI-powered calling system and an NFT marketplace. It's a very ambitious list. Of course, a plan this big isn't going to happen overnight. Their roadmap staggers this whole rollout over the next couple of years. The platform and staking were slated to go live in early 2025, with the really big milestones, like their own exchange and even their own blockchain, targeted for the middle of 2026. Okay, so now let's pop the hood and look at the engine that's supposed to power this whole ecosystem, the Wave token. From paying for things in the app to earning staking rewards, everything is designed to run on this one token. First things first, let's talk numbers. The plan outlines a total and final supply of 250 million Wave tokens. And as we mentioned, it's built on the BNB Smart Chain. So here's a bird's eye view of how those 250 million tokens are supposed to be allocated. You can see the biggest slices of the pie are set aside for the pre-sale, development of the ecosystem, providing liquidity on exchanges, and of course, paying out those staking rewards. And if we zoom in a bit, here's the more detailed breakdown. You can see exactly where that other category from the last slide goes. 12% for marketing, 8% for team management, 5% for advisors, and 4% for airdrops. This gives us the full picture of their planned token distribution. Okay, so let's get into the money side of things. According to the plan, how can people actually get involved financially? Well, it really boils down to 2 main paths, staking and a multi-phase pre-sale. So you've got 2 main flavors of staking here. First is regular staking. The entry point is super low, just $30, and it promises an 8% monthly return on investment in Wave tokens. Then you have insured staking. This one requires a bit more, around $1,100, but your principal is actually insured with jewelry. That extra safety net cuts the monthly ROI down to 4%. And both of these options run for 25 months. The pre-sale is broken down into 4 phases. The earlier you get in, the bigger the discount. But here's the catch. Your tokens are locked for what's called a cliff period. So in phase 1, you get a 50% discount, but you can't sell your tokens for a full year after they list. As the pre-sale moves along, the price goes up, but that lockup period gets shorter and shorter, down to just 3 months by the final phase. And remember that whole gold and diamond thing we talked about at the start? Well, here it is again. The plan also describes a version of the presale for larger investments. We're talking over $5,000 that is also backed by physical jewelry. This is pitched as a way to secure that initial investment.
All right, last but not least, let's break down what is definitely the most complex part of this whole plan, the affiliate marketing structure. This is a pretty deep multi-level system designed to really push for user growth and investment through referrals. It's all built on a referral structure that goes 15 levels deep. It's pretty straightforward, really. The people you bring in directly are your level 1. When they refer people, that's your level 2. When they refer people, that's your level 3, and so on. This deep network is the foundation for a few different ways to earn.
So the first way to earn is by getting a piece of the action from your team's staking rewards. For your level 1 referrals, you get 8% of their monthly ROI. For level 2, you get 4%, then 3%, and it goes down to 1% for your level 5. And this is a recurring commission paid out every month for those 25 months. On top of that, the plan includes one-time rewards for climbing the ranks. To rank up, you need a small personal stake, and then your network has to bring in a certain amount of total investment. The key here is that the investment has to be balanced. You can't just rely on one superstar recruit. When you hit these targets, you unlock instant cash rewards. And then, achieving those ranks also unlocks a monthly salary. So for example, if you hit the silver rank, you get $50 a month, every month, for a year. If you then manage to advance to gold, that first salary is replaced by a new, bigger one, $100 a month for the next 12 months. And to really cap off the investment potential they're describing, the business plan makes a very bold projection. It states, and I am quoting directly from the source material here, that by holding the tokens for a few years, a minimum of 100x is guaranteed to be yours. And that brings our breakdown to a close. So we've seen a plan that weaves together a pretty ambitious tech roadmap, some really unique financial products, and a very, very deep multi-level marketing system. It kind of leaves us with one big question, right? For a project with so many moving parts, which one, the tech, the financial backing, or the affiliate network, is going to be the one that ultimately decides if it all works?